What's up everybody, Pilot 83 here with my third video on Commander by FS Academy. In this one we will be doing Mission 5, Lost in the Fog. Step up to the Jetliners to navigate your way out of the International Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport in thick fog. Make sure not to take a wrong turn as air traffic control will notice. We will discuss the takeoff procedure as we crawl to the runway in diminished visibility. Alright, in part 6, which is mission 6, is where we actually take off, but we're going to do the part 5 in this. By the way guys, my apology, I noticed that my first two videos I did not have the voices turned up where y'all could hear them, so I got that fixed for this video. Let's go ahead and hop into it guys. So far it's been pretty fun, let's continue on.
In our Airbus A320, we're getting ready for our flight from here, Paris Charles de Gaulle, but early morning fog has slowed our progress so far. We're around 45 minutes late at this point. We're finally on our way and have completed pushback. Both engines are running. We're going to taxi out to the runway in preparation for departure. Runway 27 left is in use. I'll help to guide you as we go. There is an airfield chart in the manual to help with navigation. The temperature outside is low and we are taxiing in the fog. This runs the risk of accumulating ice in the engine intakes. Turn on the engine anti-ice for both engines.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn 1 and 2 on.
We're now ready to do the after start checklist. Anti-ice on. ECAM status checked. Pitch trim set. Rudder trim neutral. After start checklist complete. In the fog, it's a good idea to do our flight control checks while stationary. Let's start with the ailerons. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Now the elevators. Full up. Full down. Neutral. And now the rudder. Rudder full right, full left, neutral. Flight controls are checked. Let's call for taxi. Jetliner 11 Delta Bravo request taxi.
Jetliner 11 Delta Bravo, taxi Echo, hold short Foxtrot.
Echo, hold short Foxtrot, Jetliner 11 Delta Bravo. Turn on the taxi light, then release the parking brake and we'll get started.
Alright.
Add a little power to get us moving. As we taxi, keep the speed under control and no more than about 15 knots. We have a ground speed readout at the top left of the navigation display, ND. Continue straight along Echo. We are cleared as far as taxiway Foxtrot, which we will need to stop short of, known as holding short. Early morning fog has shrouded Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, triggering low visibility procedures, LVPs. These impose aircraft flow restrictions, slowing inbound and outbound traffic to increase spacing to allow for greater safety margins. It also becomes more difficult to navigate around the complex taxiway structure of large airports such as this. We will keep our speed back and take it one step at a time to avoid any wrong turns. Here is the junction with taxiway Foxtrot. Come to a stop here.
Jetliner 11 Delta Bravo, continue taxi, right on November, Quebec, hold short Quebec 3.
November, Quebec, holding short Quebec 3, Jetliner 11 Delta Bravo. Follow taxiway Echo ahead, which curves slightly left, then take the second right onto November.
I got a feeling this is going to be a very long taxi, guys. I'm very impatient when it comes to my taxiing.
Now turn right onto taxiway November and follow it northbound till its junction with Quebec. Follow November as far as it goes northbound, turning right onto Quebec at the very end. Remember to keep the speed down on this long straight. Once we reach the runway, we will perform a low visibility takeoff. The takeoff procedure is as follows. Once lined up and cleared for takeoff, apply some nose down input on the stick and advance both thrust levers to 50% as shown on the N1 indications. This ensures an even spool up of the engines before we advance to takeoff power, as if one of the engines were to spool up more quickly than the other, we may be unable to maintain directional control. Once the engines are stable at 50%,
what was
set
that?
takeoff
Did y'all just see
power
my
by
plane
putting
bounce?
both the thrust levers into the flex detent. We will then accelerate down the runway. Once we pass our V1 speed, we can no longer stop on the runway distance remaining and are committed to the takeoff. Once I announce rotate, smoothly raise the nose to around 15 degrees nose up. Make sure to do this progressively to avoid a tail strike. With fewer visual references, it is more difficult to keep straight on the centre line and to rotate for liftoff. With the lack of an outside horizon for reference, look inside at the PFD to judge your rotation rate. When safely climbing away, I will call positive climb, and we will retract the landing gear. Then we are on our way and we should leap out of the fog, ready to start our journey. Follow November as far as it goes, taking the right turn onto Quebec at the end.
This reminds me when I was in Europe last week when we were at Brussels. It was such a long taxi. But yeah, guys, while I got a minute here, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This one here is just going to be navigating the fog at the airport. But the next video will be mission 6, where we have to take off in the fog, because that should be pretty freaking interesting. So we'll be flying off just the instruments off of that, so excited for that.
Quebec is coming up now. Take this right turn. Continue along taxiway Quebec. Our holding point Quebec 3 will be the third left.
Alright, we should be getting very close. That was the second one. The third one should be the next one. Look for Q3.
We can see the Quebec 3 holding point coming up on our left. Turn left here and hold short of the runway.
Turning left.
Here is the Quebec 3 holding point. Stop here. Now set the parking brake. We made it to the holding point despite the thick fog. We'll pick this up in the next lesson, once the cabin crew have secured the cabin for takeoff.
And there we have it, guys. That one was pretty easy. This next one is what I'm really excited for, actually taking off in the fog. But this was good, teaching how to navigate through the fog and all that, and making you have to, use your restraints. We're not used to using it in the sim. We like to just fly through there and get to the runway as quick as possible. But that was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in my next video on this. Thank you guys so much for watching.